GSL Code A.
Up here in the top left in the red for SK Telecom.
SK Telecom T1 Party.
It's burning.
Pylon in the main. Keeping it real.
Yeah. No shenanigans.
Down here at the bottom right. His opponent in the blue.
CJ Entus Sora.
Down a game, but Sora has had some pretty incredible comebacks in the past.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Fat Down. Gotta get rid of that fat. Fat Down.
Gotta down that fat, man.
Down it, man.
Like, don't drink any
drink
lard,
it, no,
but
no.
like,
yeah, please
you
don't
gotta,
do that.
you gotta put down your fat, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe smooth it down, you know? I heard about some kind of weird massage techniques that like make your legs skinnier. I don't know. Heard it from some girls here.
Actually, yeah, I was hearing about that from one of my friends as well. She was telling me about that.
There's also a thing where you can wear like these super skinny tights when you sleep that actually reduce the amount of fat supposedly in your legs. Like if you wear them every night for about like 3 months or something.
Yeah, I don't know if that works, but you know, if it's working for you, it's fine. He wants to see the new maps. He says.
Wants to see him. Also, Hot 6.
Hot 6, man. If you guys are curious, Fat Down is actually like a drink that's similar to what is that drink?
Slim Fast?
Yes, exactly. Similar to Slim Fast.
I knew exactly what you were talking about right when you said it. I don't know why that's so like iconic in my mind as a fat like weight loss drink. I don't know.
Well, that was like when I worked for my mother in like the office for a little bit. Thanks for coming down, by the way.
Yeah.
When I was doing that, like they were always drinking Slim Fast all the time, so I never tried it myself. It's really happy girl in the background too there. Of course, you should be watching the GSL live.
Yeah. Seems like Sora wants to cut down on. Well, he cut down a little bit.
His probe is not going the right way. This probe's going somewhere suspicious.
Yeah, he wants to do something a little bit sneaky.
I think it's going to be a Stargate. Could be DTs, I suppose, as well. Okay.
See if he decides to pull an SOS here. That's the question. The guy who won 3 games of DTs, the playoffs of Pro League.
Well, Harding is going to scout the main base. He's going to see that. First of all, there's no tech, obviously, but he wants to kind of see the pylons. Yeah. He's like, I don't know, I only see 1 pylon here. He didn't even see the second one, so that may make him a bit suspicious. And Stargate it is.
Yeah. Starts his own Twilight Council. If he decides to go Blink, could definitely shut down any Stargate action pretty hardcore. I think he's going to scout this, though. He's got an idea here. Sees not enough pylons. He's already sending that Mothership Core right towards that Stargate, so.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, probably not the best location for a Stargate proxy. He sees it.
Yep.
Boom, that's it.
Sees
and
it right
the probe
away.
sticks around, so he can't kill the pylon. That was a smart choice. I was questioned it a bit for a moment, but it's going to get up no matter what. Unless he cancels it, I suppose. He starts a Twilight Council home. He could still cancel it, but if you cancel here, you are basically just putting yourself behind. Yeah. It's like signing a bad contract. I agree that I will be behind for the rest of the game.
Pretty much. He's already got that Stalker on the way. It's going to ward away that Mothership Core. Looks like he might commit here to kill this pylon. I think he will. Mothership Core getting pretty low, but it should be able to get out of here pretty quick.
Yeah, he can actually recall in a second. They actually might not even have to, but it's supposed to be needs to. He can.
And following up with a Dark Shrine in the main base.
Now, this is actually a really awesome choice because common response to Proxy Stargate is the Blink Stalker response, or even sometimes DTs, but it's any sort of Twilight Council response is going to lack detection, and he doesn't use a Stargate at all. That's why killing that Mothership Core, or at least pushing it away, is so important. Now he can block this probe from scouting the main. He needs to deny this, and he will.
Yeah. Probe sees nothing, just sees that there is no Nexus, of course.
And the probe that's up to the top right will actually get away with the pylon for now. And if he gets away with that, we could actually just see a build order loss here for Parting, just simply because he's not prepared. He's got units in the main base.
Earlier on, he did get that really, really quick sentry there with a lot of energy, so he is going to get the scout on that Dark Shrine. He immediately starts that robotics facility. Should be pretty fine from here. Just gets that observer out.
Yeah, and he needs sentries at his ramp because these DTs are going to walk right in. He's got 2 sentries here, and he's got a probe ready to make a tight wall. So smart here by Parting.
Yep.
Now he still will sustain some damage most likely from this, but he's not going to die outright.
Yeah, and Sora knows that. He's only going to make 1 DT, just poke at the front, see what kind of damage he can do, not going to commit too much.
Yep, should be able to force this out. If he messes it up, he might lose a Stalker or two. Okay, he's got Blink just finished.
Nice Blink there. Does sustain some health damage, though. And that Observer does finish, so... Oh, no. It's just getting started. Must have been that robotics facility, then. Just finished.
Yeah, you're right. Forge goes up as well, not only just for the upgrades, but will allow him to make cannons. That'll defend him in the late game. Now, what's interesting about this is I was about to say this, and it happens like right before I can say the words, is Sora still has the Stargate, which can be used at any time to do some counter-harassment. So if Parting decides, like, you know, I got Blink, I want to move out, you can go and do that. But, oh, look at this. He's even going to come over and send Stalkers to unpower it. Cancel immediately.
Yeah. Parting forgets nothing. I mean, he even saw the probe making the second pylon, so he knew that this thing was still active. Comes over, kills the pylon again, and that Stargate's not going to make anything.
He's even going to commit to kill it. So it's going to be completely gone. Parting seems to be playing, you know, a lot differently than he normally plays PP in Pro League. This is a best of series, so I guess it's better to play safe and try to be greedy and do your own build, you know, make your own way in a best of 1 series.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it definitely worked out for him in the first game. Definitely put the hammer down on Sora. Can't see why it wouldn't work again.
He's just scouting so much and playing so safe, it just doesn't feel like Parting PvP.
Yeah,
feels
definitely.
like creator PvP or something.
Yeah.
Does not deny the scout on that Forge.
Yeah. Both players getting a nice scout on with their hallucinations. Is going to see the Templar Archives coming out.
You know, when you go Colossi in this matchup before Archons, usually you're ahead to a certain degree, and you can actually get the Colossus count up high enough where the Archons can't really challenge you. But I feel like what Sora wants to do here is actually a timing attack. Storm is researched. Now, to me, I think that's... I don't know how you feel about this, Brendan, but I think it's going to be for Storm drops, because Storm in combat, especially against Colossi, is not going to be very effective.
Definitely not. I mean, he's already got the scout on the Colossus. He cannot be going... He can't be trying to do this to try to storm the bunch of Colossi. That doesn't really make sense. We already see the War Prism on the production tab as well, so probably going to try to decimate that economy of Sora and try to get ahead in that way.
Yeah. This is going to be really interesting because Storm drops are definitely growing in popularity in Korea in this matchup, but it's really just something we haven't seen for years. I mean, Cross vs. Cross has been an iconic matchup in StarCraft II for, you know, since 2010, but, you know, 4 years later, are we now for the first time really seeing Storm drops. He's also adding a ton of gateways here, so you might actually follow up with a timing attack after he damages the economy.
Yep. I feel like it's not a bad idea, especially on this map. Like, there's so much space to work with. It's super long rush distances, and that natural is so exposed with that airspace right behind it. There are no cannons back there. He does not know about this, and that Warp Prism is getting dangerously close to that mineral line right now.
He's got a ton of energy on it as well, and here we go! Storm drops 2 of them! No pulls! Loses almost every probe. 12 in total killed there. And suddenly, Sora finds himself in a situation where he's got to do something fast here. Yeah, he's got a 3rd Nexus coming up, but Parting sees it's going to pick off another probe here and can actually just blink away. With all the gateways he has, he's geared up to attack this 3rd base location as well. There are a few Colossi and ranges about to be done. So Sora needs to spend all the chrono energy he has on Colossi right now, which is unfortunate because he just lost so many probes, and he wishes he could be chrono boosting that.
Yeah, and that War Prism is still milling around. I mean, Sora's got 1 cannon in his mineral line in the main, but still, it's not going to snipe down a High Templar before it gets its storm off. So it's going to be easily able to just drop down there and get some storms if he's not paying attention. That would be terrible for Sora at this point. He's already lost so much.
Sora's decided to use his tech advantage, perhaps to press an attack here. But I don't think his army is large enough, and this is something he's going to want to identify ASAP, because if he tries to attack with this small, easy army, the only thing I suppose he can hope to accomplish is... Oh, man. Exactly what you said, Brendan.
Still there.
Yeah,
it's still there, and he's only got 1 cannon. He kills 26 workers in total. He goes down to 32, Parting his way ahead. He's going to take a safe 3rd base here. His army supply is way down, Sora's is, and he's going to try to go for that attack, like you said, with that tech advantage, but I don't think it's going to work. He's
going to try to burst the Nexus and then get out with a recall. He's got 1 Immortal here. The Nexus is very low.
Well,
it's a smart choice. You know, Parting's been out of position. Can he get it? Yeah, I think he actually will get this.
I mean, those force fields are too perfect as well. It gets the cancel, though. So he is going to force the cancel at least.
That was literally the best possible move there for him, is to just burst that down and get out. And I think that was his plan from the beginning. It's just really tough. Had Parting been in position, he would have had to run away before he could even attack the Nexus. So gets a bit lucky in that regard, but I mean, when you're in a situation like this, in a game like this, you kind of have to take big risks.
Yeah.
You know what's scary is Parting doesn't have Colossi, but he has a lot of High Templar for Storms, and even though they're not very effective against Colossi, there's still a lot of big damage to be had. The cost of a High Templar isn't that much. It's really the Storm that's the issue. Once you already have Storm, you burst down those Storms and then you make more Archons. So it's like totally okay to have this.
Yeah, of course. And he's even got those High Templar already. If he wants to try to drop in and snipe down the Militia Core, or at least feedback it so it has no energy for any Time Warps or Nexus Cannons, that would be very useful as well. He's got those hallucinated Archons in the front and a ton of Zealots. Time Warp does go down. It's going to slow down some of the army of Sora. Nice feedback goes down on the Militia Core of Parting, so no Time Warp out of him.
He's actually sent those Archons, or rather those Immortals forward to target. Looks like he's going to target next, and here come the Storms from behind! One goes down on top of Colossi. There's a lot of Colossi here.
Those Colossi, there are 5 in total, and they're not going down, actually, doing a ton of damage right now. Parting does get the Nexus, but he's going to be forced back here. Going to have to work in a lot more stuff before he takes that fully down.
And the DTs, you know, they're still around. And actually snipe a Pylon, an interesting choice here. But you
just
know
out of the range of that cannon.
He didn't respect the Colossi there. You know, there's 5 Colossi on the map.
Yeah.
And he just took a straight up engagement without targeting his Immortals properly. 5 Immortals can beat that if they can get in there. And he took a good engagement, but this is a really scary moment for Parting now, because these Colossi are going to be hard to deal with 5 Colossi.
It's 5 Colossi. I mean, Parting does keep a large amount of his Immortals alive, but still, he's got to get the position. Sora did a really nice job with his positioning in that battle because he went way behind that Nexus, kept those Colossi safe, but I feel like out here on the middle of the map, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. Parting's going to definitely have to do a much better job of targeting those Immortals.
Yeah, those Immortals need to be at the front of the army, getting up there as close as they can, you know, at point-blank range to those Colossi. It's the only way. Here we go. Zealots and tank. Can he get those Immortals in a great time warp here by Sora, slowing those Immortals down. They're fighting mostly Zealots here. Can they close the distance? It's actually looking like Sora may be able to take the fight.
He's pushing forward. These Archons on the front doing a ton of tanking damage as well. Some Zealots being warped in by Parting, but still, Sora has the bigger army.
Yep. And this is game. Doesn't matter what the Parting economy looks like anymore. That's it. GG. We are going to go to a 3rd game. Parting really not microing very well in that fight. Not taking those Colossi seriously. You know, when there are 5 Colossi on the map, you really need to be using that Warp Prism to be dropping Immortals, perhaps.
Yes. It's so true. We even saw in that fight that War Prism was there, but it never dropped out the High Templar. I mean, some Storms went down, but I think it was from some other High Templar because that War Prism was just kind of flying around, not doing much. I mean, it almost felt like he felt like he had a bigger army, and he's like, oh, okay, this is game. If I just 1A into him, I can definitely take this fight. It definitely looked like he didn't take those Colossi seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like David and Goliath-esque, the fight we saw there on Army Supply. It's like, can Sora hold? Like, there's no way he beats this, he wins this fight, but the Immortals just were not targeted. And in the last fight as well, they weren't targeted perfectly, they were targeted a little bit better.
Yeah, but that Time Warp as well by Sora in that last fight was so key. He was able to, it just allowed him to take that fight in full fashion there. Totally decimate that army.
Completely agree with you, Brendan. That Time Warp was the deciding factor there for sure. Well, Merry-Go-Round is the last map pick here for this first best of 3, so no new maps in this one. 3-player map here. Definitely going to be seeing, you know, a bit of a longer game again.
Yep. And this is Sora's chance, man. It turns into a best of 1 now. It's tied up 1-1. He can definitely do it. It's PvP. Anything could happen.
Parting's map pick, but you know, it really, on Merry-Go-Round, anything could happen. It's not a map where you usually kill someone right out in the early game, so all Sora has to do is play patiently, carefully. I think Parting's been playing in game 1 and 2. Let's do it. This is the deciding match. Which one of these 2 Cross players will go on to the winner's match of Group G? We'll find out right now.